Legs, you wanted to make one last point on this foul.
Yeah, just because Skip said he's not guarding Manu on his play. He's help and recover. He's guarding. I mean, see, you said he was guarding Manu. He's not guarding Manu. He's guarding Kawhi Leonard. He's trying to get out to the corner, and that's the crux of my argument. He helped on Ginobili. His man is Kawhi Leonard.
No, it's not.
How much you want to bet?
He's guarding Ginobili.
What?
They ran into each other. He's trying to come off the pick.
Yeah, play it again. Play it again. Look who he's guarding, Skip. He's matched up with Kawhi Leonard. He helped off of Leonard to stop the penetration.
Okay, but he goes out and runs into Ginobili.
He stopped. That's a help and recover play.
Okay.
He stopped him, but his man is Kawhi Leonard.
Okay, I'm with you on that.
Okay, so
but they run together. He runs into Ginobili.
But he's just
but don't give me
the ball.
this. Ginobili's going like this. Ginobili's protecting himself too. They run together.
He prevented him from making any play on the shooter.
He's not trying to make a play on the shooter. He's making a play. He's stopping Ginobili from going to the hole.
No, the play is
he's ultimately guarding. He has left his man. He is guarding. He's stopping the drive.
I participated in this kind of defense for 10 years in the NBA.
I've watched it for 30 years.
Help and recover. He wasn't guarding Ginobili. He was
stopping Ginobili.
He was helping to, he picks up the penetration and gets to the next part of it is. When he passes it, you recover to the shooter.
There's no pick play. Ginobili's not trying to pick him. They run into each other. They run in. Ginobili puts his arms up to stop himself.
The very next step is going to be to step and extend on the shooter.
He's got a lane to go to Kawhi.
He does not.
And he flopped. You know why he couldn't go to Kawhi? He flopped. He flopped away, and I'll say this. It's karmic justice, if you want to call it.
Can we respectfully disagree and move on to the Heat?
No.
Not on that.
Why? This is good.
That's a clear-cut one to me. I'm sorry. And
I'm told, I haven't seen this. I'm told that we have a freeze. And I don't think Skip is debating this point, that he is matched up with Leonard to start the play.
He's guarding Ginobili because he's going to stop the drive. He thinks Ginobili's going to the hole.
But it's a help, which is this part you're talking about, and then it's a recover if he passes it.
Okay.
If Ginobili shot the ball right there, he probably would have tried to take a charge.
Okay. Is he facing Kawhi or facing Ginobili?
He's facing Ginobili.
Yes, because he's going to stop the drive. No, I know.
It's a sit-your-old there.
I know that. Okay, the point is they run face to face together, and he flopped.
You really think Ginobili didn't? You're telling me right now, with your lying eyes, that
my correct eyes, my 20/20 eyes. Is that what you're talking about?
You're telling me right now that Manu Ginobili did not pass the ball and continue with his momentum in the direction.
He had no choice.
Prevent him from getting to the corner.
Harden got in his way. They ran face to face together. Ginobili is protecting himself, and Harden flopped.
I don't know how you
Don't ask for help.
I don't know how he does it every day.
Okay. Harden could have gone to the corner to take the man he should have taken, but he wanted to stop Ginobili. He runs into him, and he takes a flop. He flops.
Well-trained defensive teams are taught. You take away penetration first.
You're making my case.
Right.
Thank you.
But you think he's just going to quit when he passes it? Well, I got Manu now.
He did quit. He flopped.
He didn't flop.
He flopped and got a call.
Pick.
You know why? Because the referees had decided at that point Oklahoma City is going to the final.
The only thing missing there was your silver tie. My God.
San Antonio Spurs and Thiago split.
Oh, so now we got
have lost.
Yeah.
Well, don't you know when Pop berated him that took Thiago out of the series? When he berated him, and that was it.
We're going to take a commercial break, but something tells me this discussion will continue through.
Let's do it again. I want to see that video again.
We're back with more ESPN First Take.
Go ultimately as
to the corner. When he kicked it to the corner.
I think when he kicked it to the corner.
It was a good call. He was in position. He took the charge. He leans up the body a little bit. He did. His feet stayed in place. He beat him to the spot, and he was waiting on him. That's an offensive foul. I'm sorry, but it is. I know that's a big swing because that's a turnover as opposed to a three-point play. I get that. The other play...
You're going to agree on that one. This one we did it, the second one.
You think that the screen, when he kicked it to the corner...
Yeah, I think when he kicked it to the corner. I think
here's the reason I think this is an offensive foul. When he makes this pass out to the corner, when he comes at Harden, If he doesn't have his elbow up and raised, basically extending how wide his body is, Harden's got a much better chance to get out to the corner and make a contest on that shot. So that, by him getting wide up in here and hitting Harden up top with his elbow out like this, that's why you make that call. If Ginobili has his hands down and hits him, even if his shoulder's moving a little bit, I don't have any problem with that kind of screen. On that play, when you start coming up in here into guys and make your body a lot wider than it should be, you're preventing the defender from getting out to the corner. And that's why they call that play. And that's an easy call for an official on a screen. They're going to call that most of the time. Your elbows are down in this area, your hands or fists are down. They typically won't call it even if you move. That's why Kevin Garnett gets away with 90% of those screens. His hands are typically down here, and he slides with you. When you start coming up in this area like Ginobili did, they're going to call that.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I appreciate the explanation. My whole thing is, even though I know it was a moving pick, and that's what it was called for, I didn't look at it as a pick. I almost looked at him as him throwing it to the corner, and they collided. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, in other words, I instantly reacted. I'm trying to protect myself because Harden's coming into me, and I thought it should have been no call. Okay. You see what I'm saying? That was my position.
Remember, Harden is guarding Manu. He's not guarding Kawhi Leonard. So he's not trying to get to Kawhi Leonard. He's actually trying to get to Manu, and they run into each other, and then Harden flops. But point of order here. Are you done with that? Yeah. Okay. You say sour grapes on my part. You made a great call to start the year. You picked the Thunder to win the West and get to the finals. So clearly, you don't have great objectivity on last night's fourth quarter because you're rooting for the Thunder to win.
Just be picked for a second. First of all, Skip, I've been here 11 years. Do you really think I hang my hat on getting a pick right and who goes to the NBA Finals?
You take beatings sometimes, and you've talked about it how, I took a beating last night for this on Twitter. Yeah. And your emotions, you're human. Your emotions run. You wanted the Thunder to win the game last night.
I enjoy watching the San Antonio Spurs play every bit.
But you love the Thunder.
I enjoy watching the Thunder play.
Okay.
I have no dog in this fight. Okay. I don't care who goes to the NBA Finals. Here's my dog in this fight.
I've said from the start, the Spurs go ultimately as Manu Ginobili goes. He is their closer, and they were looking to him at this point to take the game over because he hadn't done that much to this point. He'd been able to rest a lot to this point. His tank was full of gas at this point at age 34. And 6 crucial points were taken off the board on 2 successive Ginobili plays. And more important, it's foul number 4 and foul number 5. And he has to go to the bench in crunch time for a couple of crucial minutes and be psychologically taken out of the game by 2, I think, completely bogus calls.
I think that argument goes right out the window once you're up 18 and you give up an 18-point lead.
Listen, I agree with all that. But the game is winnable for the Spurs if Ginobili takes it over. They have one bad boy on their team that you cannot mess with. We've seen him do it again and again. He's done it against these guys. And he was ready to go. That shot he made, as you point out, on Durant got the superstar call. It was an unbelievable shot. He gets knocked to the floor sideways and throws the ball up, and it leaks over the front of the rim. And if he goes to the free throw line and makes the free throw, they're down 1. And all of a sudden, look out, here come the Spurs.
All right, let me point something out here. The one you left off, I can't believe, because the one that they blew was the Duncan offensive foul on Fisher.
Okay, I said there was a flurry of egregious calls.
Well, again, I got them all written down. There was 9 possessions in a 6-minute stretch, not less than that, 4.5, 5-minute stretch. 9 possessions for the San Antonio Spurs in a 1-point game. They had 6 turnovers and 3 missed shots. Now, 3 of those were offensive fouls.
Correct.
The Duncan one
2 of them are on Manu.
The Duncan one was a blown call.
Okay.
Those 2 I thought were legitimate. You still had 3 more turnovers and 3 missed shots at a stretch in the game when it got away from you. That's why you lost the game.
6 crucial points are taken off the board because Kawhi makes the corner 3. He rips it clean. You're down 1 in both those cases with a chance to put the pressure on Oklahoma City. As we talked yesterday, I thought they were starting to feel the heat in the fourth quarter of a crowd that wanted them to win too badly. They were turning the ball over too. Harden had a bad turnover. Westbrook had a bad turnover on lob passes that just went out of bounds. They started missing jump shots, and all of a sudden, you let them regain their momentum because of these calls, and then all of a sudden, Harden makes his 3, and
not why they lost, though, Skip.
It's not why they lost.
Okay, look, you say that, but I'm a Spurs guy. Ginobili is everything to me, and if you take him out of the game, I tweeted it immediately, I'm done. I got no chance. Right. That's when the body language Steve Kerr's talking about. You ought to see the Spurs body language on the bench. It doesn't look good. It's because the closer got ripped out of the game by 2 bogus calls. They're terrible calls.
I also think that your argument would have had more validity if Steven Jackson didn't have the kind of game that he had, if Tim Duncan didn't have the kind of game that he had, if Tony Parker didn't have the kind of game that he had. I'm just saying, they were balling, but they ran into a juggernaut, and long before those missed fouls took place, Oklahoma City had overcome an 18-point deficit.
So it was already over, by
It was already over.
Got to do a break. When we come back, Legs is going to stick around. Who has more pressure tonight in Boston?